Hey everybody, this is Exposed TV and welcome back to the home of Blaha Firearm on YouTube. We have some breaking news about the #1 YouTube celery himself, Jason Blaha. A simple Google search of public records has uncovered his criminal record and mugshot. The public records show how 3 men were caught with drugs and a loaded firearm, with one of those men being our boy Blaha. It was back in 1999 in Cypress, Texas. Police officers pulled over a vehicle for speeding, which was occupied by 3 men. The police officers found that 2 of the men were in possession of marijuana. While searching the vehicle, the officer found a handgun which was fully loaded with 8 rounds in the magazine and 1 round in the chamber. The hammer was down and the safety was off. The driver of the vehicle stated that the handgun belonged to Jason Blaha. Jason was then questioned at the scene by the officer. He was asked if he had the permit to carry the handgun, which Mr. Blaha answered by looking dejectedly at the ground and said no. Jason appeared to be upset upon answering. The officer then asked Mr. Blaha if he wanted to acknowledge ownership of the handgun. Jason asked the officer if his 2 companions would be in the clear if he stated that it was his. The officer answered yes, and then Blaha asked the officer for advice of what he should do, which the officer answered that the decision was his alone. Blaha then asked what would happen if he did not acknowledge that the handgun was his, which the officer replied that the driver may be charged with the possession of the handgun. Blaha thought for a while and stated that he probably should remain silent. Blaha was later found guilty of carrying a firearm. He was 22 years old at the time. The judge determined that Blaha appeared a bit slow, so part of the conditions of his community supervision was to submit to an evaluation of his educational skill level. The judge wanted to make sure that Jason had the average skills of a student who had completed the 6th grade in a public school. When the forms were completed, the operator made the simple mistake of misspelling Jason's surname, as well as entering his height as 3'11" instead of 5'11". But as we can see from the mugshot, that's our boy Jason Blaha. For the people that don't recognise the defeated look of the 22-year-old, a simple facial recognition comparison shows sufficient proof. Here we see the ears and nose matching, as well as the moles and sunspots on both the older and younger Jason Blaha. So why are we exposing Jason's criminal past? To humiliate him? No, he seems to do just fine by himself. It's to show how easy Jason is able to lie.
And because I've previously had security clearance and I have a completely clean criminal record, I have never been arrested, I've never gotten a speeding ticket on record, nothing like that.
In this forum post, Jason describes his arrest by saying he got into a confrontation with a police officer, who he disarmed and broke some of his ribs, which he later then pleaded down to a misdemeanor firearm possession. Jason posted this in 2005 and said he still needed a few more years before he could get a CHL, so we know he is talking about the incident in the police report. Jason's version of the events don't coincide with the official report. Also, Jason's female girlfriend lies all over social media for him. Here we see Jason's female girlfriend trying to cover Jason's lies.
Where's the proof? That police report is completely wrong? The name is misspelled? How were all those details changed? Oh yeah, the computer types in cursive? Next you're gonna ask me to prove he's not in the KKK or that he's a fucking reptile? Here's the proof that bullshit arrest was a lie.
Jason, it's time to come clean to all your viewers and admit to all your lies. And more importantly, stop blaming others and lying about how it wasn't you that made the death threats to Lane Norton and his family. It's time to stop playing the victim, Jason. This has been Exposed TV, and we're out of here.